a great question that applies to pretty much everybody that starts the journey of dropping body fat. Quite simply put, in the beginning, when you start this journey, you'll go from a sedentary lifestyle to becoming very active, lifting weights, whatever it is you're doing, going to classes, and you change some things in your diet and you start to see these big results. Now there's going to be big results in the beginning because you've made some big changes, but those results will get less and less and less, become far less. Doesn't mean you're not on the right path, doesn't mean you're not doing things right, it just means things are slowing down because there is no more radical changes that have been made, okay? So, rather than having the perception of feeling disheartened because the results aren't as big that make you feel so good in the beginning, have this as a mental challenge, because in my experience, when the results really start slowing down, which is natural, that's normal, that happens, this is a time for you to think to yourself, mental strength. I'm going to keep going, because people just give up at this stage because they're not being motivated by the big results. You've just got to keep telling yourself, rather than what I achieved in 1 month, that same kind of, if you compare it, quantify it against that 4 weeks, 1 month, it becomes about 6 months. So now your 4-week goal of dropping X amount of body fat, you start setting 6, 12, 18-month goals. Okay, don't think after 4 weeks you should have seen massive changes, because more often than not, if you've been doing it for a while, you won't see massive changes, okay? And if you really want to see the results come in and come in and come in, you start having to pay attention then to the, you know, the small details in your diet, in your sleep, you know, managing stress levels. You start really have to looking at the intricacies of everything that encompasses your life to keep the results coming, okay? So you just got to tough it out. In the beginning you'll see great results, big changes rather, and as you progressively go down that road, they'll come slower and slower and slower, and that's just when you've got to dig deep and don't give up. Rather than give a best diet for fat loss, what I'm going to say is if you follow either of these 3 diet plans, nutritional plans, you're off to a great start. But then, as I always say, there is no one size fits all. You do have to play around, and don't be scared to play around. Okay, gauge how one food that makes me feel amazing and leans me out can bloat the hell out of somebody else. Okay, so you've got to be brave and try these things. So, a low GI diet, a ketogenic diet, and a paleo diet. Okay, do they work for everybody? No, but for the large majority of the population, those 3 diets are enough to put you in very good stead, okay? And from there on, you would tinker and play around and adapt it to your lifestyle and what foods best suit you, okay? So I can't give one definitive answer of which is the best for fat loss necessarily, because some it works for, some it doesn't, but those 3 generally are a great starting point. It's not a straight answer, because let's say you were training 6 days a week, you've been in the gym 6 days a week, and on that 7th day you're like, oh, you know, I've only got 20 minutes to squeeze in a session. Actually, you'll benefit more from having the rest, because rest is vital to growth, development, regeneration, okay? If you're constantly working, what do you become? You become tired, okay? You've got to have rest. Just like we work throughout the day and need our sleep to rest and recover for the next day, training is no different. You've got to train, recover, train, recover. So, is doing 20 minutes better than nothing? Yes, if that means you've only been able to train 3 or 4 times and that 5th session is that session, definitely. But don't always find the time to do something if the rest is necessary. And a very simple way to actually gauge that is, if you've been training 3 or 4 times a week and you come to that 5th day and you are just shattered, have a rest, chill out, eat some food, regenerate, next day come back stronger. Okay, well this would depend on what diet you're following. If it was a ketogenic diet, fatty nuts, avocados, etc., If you're following a low GI diet or a paleo diet, then it would be low GI fruits. Low GI foods. Basically snacks that just don't spike your insulin, unless it's intentional straight after a workout, then by all means spike the crap out of your insulin. But generally throughout the day, pick foods that don't spike your insulin. They're the best snacks because they're going to do one or two things. If you're ketogenic, it's going to accelerate fat loss and keep you energized. If you're not ketogenic and following a low GI or a paleo diet, it just means that it's a slow release of glycogen. You're not going to store it as body fat and you're not going to have a spike, crash, when you go to have a power snooze, okay? Keep liking and sharing our videos at the only website, manupofficial.co.uk.